Hi, so we're back. I just felt compelled to kind of sit and ask, what does the collective need to know at this time? Excuse my incense, it's kind of flowing in my face. And so I've done my prayer. I'm going to finish it out here with you. And let's just dive in and see what they have to say. There's a lot going on. There's been a lot of crazy energy. So I'm curious myself. So let's just tap in together. Take a deep breath in with me. Relax. And let's allow whatever is meant for the collective to hear at this time to flow through me effortlessly and easily. With love and light, I thank my team. Whenever you are ready, Spirit, what does the collective need to know today? What you are asking is a loaded question. There are so many things that the collective needs to know at this time, and we wanted to start off with something a little bit light. Not only for those that are watching, but for this channeler here. They're giving me a sidebar message. I'm holding on. I might share it at the end. Let me get back in. As you are witnessing this time on your planet with such layers of density, we ask you not to swim in the density. Don't allow it to take you under with its undertow, forcing you to believe that that is your reality. The reason why you are seeing so much more spirituality in the mainstream media is because it is time to wake everyone up. Your planet is at a precipice. The people inhabiting it are in dire straits. And so those like Emily are here to help bring forth the messages which are actually frequencies that are vibrating at a level from which those that have the ability can hear. And so we are grateful to her to allow us the opportunity to not only speak to you, but share with you the wisdom that we know and that we would like to share with all of you, and hope that it will inspire you to look at your life and your world and everyone in it in a different way. And so what we would like to share with you today is this. It is not so important that you believe. It is more important that you know. And so what is that belief? If you believe that bad things are going to happen to you, then that is what you create. That is the basics of the law of attraction. But we need to take it a step deeper, because a lot of humans at this time are having parallel thoughts where it's one thought of spirituality and another thought of the third dimensional density. And what is actually happening on your planet at this time is there's a merger of the third and the fifth dimension. And so things can look a little confusing, but the veil is thin. And so in order for all of you to receive the information that is out there waiting for you to grab hold of it, much like this channeler is doing for you at this time, you all have this ability. You all have the ability to seek higher wisdom from your higher self, if no one else. Your higher self is your first line of defense, so to speak. And every one of you has a team, as Emily would like to call them, that are made up of a varying degree of higher level beings. That is not to say that you are a lower level being. The higher level being meaning there is a vibration that is of a higher frequency that can exist outside of the confines of your world, of your solar system even, and your galaxy. And so without going into too deep of detail into that, all you need to know is that you're constantly surrounded by the divine love and light of everything all at once. Your ancestors, your higher self, galactic beings, angels, spirit guides. Give it whatever label that you want, whatever that makes you feel comfortable. But there is an issue where a lot of the humans at this time are looking at their thoughts as their reality and spiritual as not their reality, when they're actually the reverse. Spirituality is your reality. Higher level frequencies, vibrations, your soul, the divine love of Source. That is all that is real. Everything around you, you created with your minds, collectively. It is a vibration. But you all have gotten way too attached to the third dimension density and all of the things that you can hold in your hand and see with your eyes. But what you are all being asked to do at this time is to see things from a higher perspective, a more pure perspective. Now, some of this is not going to make sense at this time, and we understand, and we're going to work with Emily on giving this to you in doses and stages so that you can digest the information, because it's vital at this time. We all know that you feel how important it is at this time to get right with yourself and your soul, if nothing else. If you do not seek any higher wisdom other than understanding yourself from a higher perspective, then you have reached your goal. Because it is a singular purpose on your planet. You are all one. You all were created from the same source energy. God source energy. You are a spark from God source energy. And you are having this human experience with the amnesia that comes from being born into this world. And so, as you see others around you waking up, and you're starting to see so much more information through your social media channels, we ask you a few things to keep in mind. Discernment. If something doesn't resonate with you, it's not meant for you, and that's okay. Move on from it. Do not fixate. Even if this information that we're giving you right now does not resonate, then move on from it or come back to it later. As you are continuing on your evolutionary track, your evolution is a spiritual evolution at this time. And so as you are growing and expanding, some things are going to resonate with you and some things just aren't. But they might the next day or the next week or the next month or the next year. There is a fluidity that needs to be learned now. This idea of black and white thinking is what keeps you imprisoned in your third dimensional world. Fear runs your world. Greed runs your world. Everyone is seeking the same thing: peace, love, joy, abundance. And as Emily is speaking these words, do you feel triggered? Are you asking yourself the question, do I feel joy? Do I feel peace? Do I feel abundant? Those are the questions you should be asking yourself on a daily basis. And if your answer is no, that's where you start. Not by shaming, blaming, or being upset with yourself. Because again, that's a third dimensional mindset. That is not from the higher realms. That is not the frequency of love, of acceptance, of gratitude even. And so we would ask you to do something small right now, as maybe you're digesting this information and wanting so badly to comprehend it on a deeper level. What has to happen is you have to override your brain. Excuse me. And in future videos, we are going to be discussing this more with you. But for right now, we would ask you to start thinking about your day, moment to moment. How do I feel at this moment? Do you feel yourself getting stressed? Is that a habit, or is there a reason for that feeling? Can you adjust how you view the situation that caused you to feel that way? These are little games you can start playing with your mind. The biggest message we have for you at this time, dearest ones, is that you are not your mind. You are so much more. When your physical body dies, the mind dies with it. The higher consciousness travels with the soul. And of course, your soul travels on to wherever it would like to go next. So do not give so much control to the brain, to every thought that you think. Watch how many negative thoughts you can have in a minute. That is what you have to start getting control of. If you are constantly judging yourself, judging others, believing things should be a certain way, and then when they're not that way, you get frustrated, angry, depressed, anxious. Those are all lower level frequencies that cannot exist in the higher realms. You cannot take that frequency with you. And so, another thing we would ask you to experiment with is when you are feeling at peace, when you are feeling love, love of self, love of others, love of your dog, your cat, the trees, the birds, the ocean, the mountains, in those moments, be present. Be aware of how it feels in that moment to love the dog, the cat, the mountain. And as you feel into that frequency, note it. You can always come back to this feeling. You don't have to have anything externally to remind you of this feeling. But because you have to deal with your mind, we give you those visuals. We ask you to find something in your third dimensional world that will bring you joy, that will bring you peace, that will make you feel abundant. Take nothing small for granted. As Emily does on her walks with her dog. I only have one dog. They're laughing at me because they're like, well, you have a lot of dog. Living or dead. Anyway. I'm going to talk about this in a moment. They like to joke with me. So, okay, let me get back. Yes, dearest one, we love to play with you. But we want to express the importance of the lightness that we're trying to exude in this session today. Because what we do not want to do, and we're going to come back to what Emily does on her walks because it's important. But for now, you need to understand that anything that feels heavy is not of spirit. And that is a good way for you to understand the scale of consciousness. Are you high vibing, as people are starting to say now? Love, abundance, joy, gratitude. Or are you low vibing? Fear, depression, anxiety, greed, suffering. Dearest ones, you were not made to suffer. And it is so vital at this time that you know this deep in your heart and soul, and you feel it and you remember. You are not meant to suffer. You were created from the great creator of love and light throughout all of the universe, and you are part of that. And so we would ask you to do a couple of things now. If you feel called to, and if you want to also feel more high vibrational throughout your day. What Emily does is when she walks her dogs in the morning, because she's not a morning person, she does what's called a grateful flow. She walks out her door, she breathes in the air, she gets an idea of the temperature, and usually there's birds chirping, pelicans, because she's in Florida. And she takes note of every bit of it, the clouds in the sky, the trees, the wind in the trees, the squirrels that are gathering their berries for the day, butterflies this time of year. And as she walks, what she is saying to herself is, I am so grateful that I have this amazing life, that I can wake up when I want to wake up. I can do the things I want to do when I want to do them. I have a healthy, happy dog. I have an amazing condo that I love. I am abundant, even if I cannot see it with my eyes, it's not tangible yet. I feel abundant. Therefore, I know I am abundant. I am so loved, and I permeate love, and I radiate love to all things. And I'm so grateful for my family and for their good health. I'm so grateful for my friends and for their consistency and their deep love and loyalty to me. I'm so grateful for my clients, and so on and so forth, until her walk is complete. It sets the tone of her day, and sometimes it's hard for her to do this. She is human like you, and she has been walking this path alone for a long time, learning how to get to the level where she could channel this message for you. And so we want to leave you now understanding this. It's not about perfection. It's not about getting something right. It's about listening deep inside you and allowing that voice to be heard. And when you start acting upon that voice, the voice gets louder. And you'll start to notice that that's your higher self. That's your intuition. That's also spirit speaking through your higher self to get to you in a gentle, loving way. And so, as you carry on with your days and nights and weeks and months and years, we would ask you to try to stay as present as possible in the now moment, knowing that you have a list of to-dos that are running in your mind all the time. Find a way to put the to-do list away. Put it down, knowing that it will get attended to when the time is right. Try not to future project your fear. We see this a lot with people that are uneasy on Sunday evenings. Emily is smiling because her best friend has what's called the case of the Sundays or Mondays. And when her friend was staying with her, she woke up on the Sunday morning feeling anxious. And Emily went downstairs and asked her friend, "Is this your energy?" And she said, "Yes." And we use that as an example of how easy negative energy can transmit to another person. Her friend did not mean to do that, but that was her mental state in the confines of Emily's condo. And so, of course, Emily, being empathetic and empathic and a channeler, she picked up on it. And it did not feel good because she does not have a case of the Mondays on Sundays. And so the conversation that she had with her friend was, why are we worrying about something that isn't here yet? And why are we worrying? You love your job. So why is there a worry? Is it just habitual? Changing pattern thinking doesn't happen overnight, but it happens with one small step. Paying attention to your pattern behavioral thinking. Is it negative? Does it make you feel good or bad? Can you adjust it in the moment? It takes effort to change a negative thought. And so at this point, in this transmission for today, we just want to stir the pot. We want to get you thinking and feeling. We want to get you forward, moving on your path towards a happier, healthier, more joyous life, because that is your birthright. And if today's transmission leaves you wondering, what are your negative thoughts and do you have them? It's a good exercise to practice being aware of them, writing them down even, asking yourself, do I really believe that thought? Do I have evidence to prove that thought? Sometimes you will, but sometimes then it just takes a matter of choosing a different thought or seeing it from a different perspective. So again, we just want you to play with this a little bit and be thinking of the higher and the lower scales of consciousness so that you can understand that you can find peace and joy and abundance and love in anything if you choose it. Or are you constantly allowing what's in your face in your 3D reality to determine how you feel about everything? Once you go in and you determine your set point, peace, love, abundance, moving from the heart, allowing everything to come to you as it should, because that is what you emanate. That's where you find the magic. That's where you find your own inner peace. And it won't matter what's going on in the world, and it won't matter what's going on with your bank account. It won't matter what's going on with your relationship. We know this is a tall ask, but it is achievable. And so we ask you, dearest ones, to be loving and gentle on yourself during this process. But if you're watching this video and you're staying with us now, your soul called you to this video so that you can hear some higher level truths that need to be told to your soul and to yourself, and that you need to start being the watch guard of the thoughts that are thinking in your head. Are you thinking them? Who's thinking those thoughts? Just be aware. And look for the love and the joy and the abundance and the gratitude all around you, because it's there. It's a choice. And I promise you, when you do that, the world will start to look a little greener, a little brighter, a little shinier, even amongst the chaos. And so, dearest ones, we ask you to love yourself a little bit more today. Be kind to yourself a little bit more today. Loosen the grip. And as we like to tell Emily often, just plain loosen up. Things don't have to be so serious all the time. We love you all. We have been pushing Emily to channel these messages for quite some time. And we ask you to keep an open mind as we continue to channel through her. And we hope that you will come back and visit with us again, as we have much to share. And we're looking forward to the next session with you. With love and light, everyone. With love and light. Okay. So that was a shorter one this time. Sometimes they get a little long-winded. There's going to be some more information that I'm going to share with you guys because they give me downloads, especially at night when I'm kind of calm. I get some downloads, and I got a big one last night that I'm probably going to share. Instance blowing in the wrong direction, coming in my eyes. I'll probably share, and I think the themes are simple, but sometimes it's hard to grasp. And I know for myself, it's taken me a while to really grasp some of these concepts as well. So it's, again, you want to, spoon feed yourself this information and see how it feels. See what comes up. Do you get triggered? Notice the mind. I know with some good friends of mine that, I work regularly with, that's what tends to happen. And I notice it for myself too, that when I'm really getting to like the threshold of a transition out of something into something new, spiritually speaking, that chatter really kicks up, because it does not. It's like the last little, for lack of a better word, demon at the gate. Like, no, don't go, So I hope this landed. I'm going to go back and listen to it myself, because sometimes I'm in and out. I can hear it. My job is really to get my ego out of the way so that the message can come through. And that's why sometimes my words don't come out like I really want them to come out. So as I get more comfortable doing this with you guys, I will let it flow. I just really want to make sure that the message is coming out as purely as possible for you. So I appreciate you sticking with me, and I hope you'll come back. And I look forward to talking to you guys next time, and we'll see what's going on. So again, love and light to you all. Stay good to one another. Yeah, we all need to be really good to one another right now. We need to hold each other with so much love and so much light during these kind of dark days on our planet. But as strong as the darkness is, that's just as strong as the light. You cannot have light without dark and dark without not light. We have to have that duality. So stay positive, stay high vibe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.